Hello, all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you spending some time with me. I am excited to be here talking about, where is it? Doing Tarot the Stash Way. Today we are talking about swords, or this is for me, the suit associated with air. So I say swords. Now, see the notice has popped and give people a few moments to arrive. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Please like and subscribe, ring the bell to be notified so you do not miss anything that's coming up on the channel. And okay, let's see who's here. Hello, hello. Jilly Little Zen Crone was here first. Hello. And then Medium Betsy Palmer. Hello. Betsy and I have something coming up toward the end of the month. Like and subscribe. Sarah D is here. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. Beth Aspasia Rising is here. Hello, hello. And Tarot Stash is here. And by the way, I found right there's some swords. I thought that was a bit funny. You got your cuppa. Good. Jane the Seeker is here. Hello, Jane. Jane and I are going to do Tuesdays with Tarot Stash later in the month. So Deanne is here. Blue Crescent Tarot. Hello. Jonathan is here. Hi, Jonathan. Good to see you. Jonathan's got something coming up later today, and he's got stuff tomorrow too, so it's very exciting. The lovely Sandra is here. Sandra from the Whispering Well. And in 2 Mondays, Sandra and I are doing a deck casual for the Robert M. Place Vampire Tarot. You will not want to miss that. So Jilly says hello to everyone coming in. And just catching up. Trying a little bit of a different setup. So Emerald Buddha is here. Hello, Emerald Buddha. Good to see you here. Oh, thank you. I was trying. I was actually, I was using my hashtag tiny handler. I was using my tiny hands to get it, so it was just like perfect. So, yes, we are. So if Peter J. Watts is work lurking. Good for you, bad for you. Hope I help to inspire something along those lines. And like and subscribe because, Peter may be doing something on my channel a little bit later. So, who knows? Who knows? So, welcome to another episode of Tarot the Stash Way. And I do appreciate you liking and subscribing. Kathy is here. Tortoiseshell Moon. Hello. Looking forward to this. Swords is my favorite suit. Very nice. If you have questions or comments that you need definitely to catch my attention, please put them in capitals because I am going to ask some questions. Peter is winterizing the chicken coop. That's a good thing. I'm sure they will appreciate it, maybe give you a few eggs. So this is for entertainment purposes only, or for inspirational and entertainment, educational purposes only. This is the way that I work with tarot. So think of it that way. So this is Tarot the Stash Way. Y'all got that? And I like to start every episode of this talking about how there are a lot of resources available to expand your tarot understanding. I am excited to be part of these resources, so thank you for everyone for being here. I'm not going to suggest a deck because right now, uh, we're talking about the suits and the qualities of the suits and the names of the suits and the correspondences. Uh, um, so quickly, if you want to expand your tarot understanding, pick a book that resonates with you. It could be a there are a lot of tarot books out there. 78 Degrees of Wisdom by Rachel Pollack is a good one. Mastering the Tarot by Eden Gray. You can also find some information about correspondences in this book. Tarot for Yourself, Mary K. Greer. Very, very good book. My favorite, of course, is sitting over here because I was looking at it the other day, is the Robin Wood Tarot. This is the one that I'm comfortable with. And pick something, as I've said, pick something that stretches you a little bit, something that um, that slows you down and makes you think. And mine is Holistic Tarot by Benabel Wynn. So, but I'm not going to tell you which book to get. I am going to encourage that you look at some resources. Another great resource is the Wildwood Tarot. This book is really quite informative. I do enjoy it quite a bit. So let me put all that stuff down, say hi to a few people. I did see Purple Elephant, Deb H is here, who is hosting me on her channel. So please, everyone, make sure that you like and subscribe so you can see that. That's on Thursday, and I think it's at 11, I believe. And Regina, Regina's Tarot and Wirecraft is here. She is work lurking as usual. Fox with the Book, hello. Glad to have you here. Thank you. Yeah, I love the Druidcraft book. I have not used the Anna K yet, so it's the books. So, but purchase responsibly, know your limits. Go to the library. I just went to the library because I think it was Beth Aspasia Rising suggested Tarot Elements, and I picked that up from my local library. I'm going to give that a peruse. And Joan the Seeker said, just got Little Morgan Greer as in a 10. I'm in love already. It's a nice one. It's a nice one. Kristen Louise is here. Hi, Kristen Louise. Miss Charlotte, hello. And Debbie, Aquarius Owl, hi. And Tony, Antoinette, Intuitive Tarot and Jewelry is here. Hello. And all right, so got lots and lots of people here. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I also encourage you to, as you are here and you're watching this, or as you watch the playback, because in the playback you can stop it. Good luck trying to stop me when I'm live. That won't happen. But get a notebook that you can take your notes in. My notebook is actually a 3-ring binder, and this is full of stuff related to tarot. And it's my go-to because I actually have pulled out lots of pages for it. And your notebook needs to be practical. You want to write in it. You need to be willing to make mistakes in it. It needs to be inspiring because you want, oh, I want to write this down. So now the goal for you, or the goal for this, is to, I would like everybody to, so as we're going through the suits or the elements associated with each suit, I want you to be able to have a sheet or a little index card that has the basics about that suit. And then I want you to have little sheets of paper for all of the numbers, because I already did the court cards. I may touch base on those. But that way, when you're doing a reading, you get, let's say it's the 4 of Pentacles, and you're not quite sure you want to check, you can pull out, well, let's pull the pentacles and the four and let's put them together. And so it's a great resource. So I like to watch the first time through and then I rewatch, pause and write. That's excellent. That is excellent. Yep. Lorraine has got notebook ready. Excellent. Excellent. So if I've missed anybody, thank you, Miss Charlotte. So I also, just to let you know, in the middle, I have a special announcement. I have a video that I want to show you for something special coming up on my channel. So pay attention to that. And I love it. What? I need a new notebook? Claps hands in glee. Yes, yes. And get one that works for you. So, all right. So now I am calling this, I'm talking about the suit associated with air. And the reason I'm saying it that way is because some tarot creators associate air with wands and with swords with fire. I do not. I associate air with swords. So that's my approach. And by the way, this is just me. This is the way I do it. So getting caught up on chat. Yep. Just bought a new one and it will arrive today. Excellent. Just sent you a file for elements you might like it. Ooh. So that's whack. So it's whatever. So for me, for the sake of Tarot the Stash Way, the element of air is for the suit of swords. Now, what are some of the names that you have for the suit of swords? Now, some of them, swords, obviously. And what are some other names? There are knives, there's daggers, there's arrows. For instance, in the Wildwood, they call them arrows. What else do you call them? Air and swords, yes. Air for swords, yep. Knives, daggers, blades, spears, yes. Plenty of books affordable on Kindle. Years ago, I took out a subscription for 2 months and read 10 to 15 books. That's great. It's rare, but I've seen the swords as a water suit, and that hurt my brains. Ugh. Ugh. Hello, Jamie. Wandering Mountain Bardic Path. Needles, knives, arrows. Yes. Athames, correct. Is that okay? Spheres. I've also seen them. Remember, it's associated with air, so it could be clouds. It could also be birds. Could be a specific bird. And I've also seen balloons. Jonathan added swords, blades, needles, arrows, feathers, air, winds. Yes, feathers. Yes, I'm going to write down the feathers because I had forgotten about that one. See, I'm writing too. I've seen them as ink pens. Yes, yes, ink pens. That's great. Needles and 5-cent tarot. Yes, absolutely. Knitting, crochet needles. Yes. Feathers, air, lightning, pens, scrolls, clouds, needles. Yes. So I like how what you're doing is you're identifying the things that you've seen because that actually helps bring up the associations that we have with air. Let's see, daggers, knives, lances. One of the things that I like to do is when I'm finding decks and I'm going through my decks, and if there's something different, I literally I write it down on my piece of paper so that I have them. So it's really, really quite fun. And all right, let's talk about some basic correspondences. And this is where the correspondences are things such as air, okay? And that's an element. Now, you can, hang on, everybody take a sip with me. Thank you. So thinking about air, we have the card suits. Swords, arrows, shivs, lances, athame, clouds, spades, I believe, kites. Also seen that. But thinking about, does that mean airplanes since they travel in air? Absolutely, that could work, Betsy. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, depending upon the deck and the creator and what they're trying to do. In my world, I associate swords with the East. So on the wheel of the year, it is East, which is Ostara, and that is the spring equinox. That's the balance of light and dark, the balance of the night and day. So let's see, smoke, incense, sound. Yes, it could be quilts. Kathy, yes, quilts could be. I might see quilts, depending upon how it falls, as pentacles or earth. But I get where you're saying that because you need a needle in order to create the quilts. Absolutely. Um, so then, therefore, yeah, swords equals east. It also would be, then it's dawn. If we're overlapping the circle or the wheel of the year, that's dawn. So I like to remember that when I think about swords as well. Oh, quills. Oh, geez. Yes, Kathy, quills. Everybody say it with me. Quills. Quills. Can you tell I'm a quilter? Thank you, Beth. Manasa is work lurking. Hello. I could see where bubbles could be it because they're containing air. That could be very, very interesting. Yeah, see, yeah, okay. Spiritual Rain is here. Hello. Okay, so correspondences. So if I look at the wheel of the year, it's spring, but that's also dawn. And it would be if you layer the moon phases on top of the wheel of the year, it would be a waxing crescent. You could also think of the correspondences with people. It could be a page, it could be apprenticeship, it could also be adolescence or youth. So thinking of it that way. And looking, I love this. By the way, this is dawn east. Yep. Clouds, wind, air, a sky, glass. Yep. Okay. Got all that. I love it. So, basic correspondences. So, since a lot of people are here, before we get to the qualities, would everybody be okay for a short little teaser about what I have coming up? So, say yes. Give me a thumbs up if you want me to go ahead and do that. Okay, Jane, thought, Dawn, when our minds go from the unconscious of sleep to clear conscious of day or swords. Yep. Queen of Swords is the cover of the Morgan Greer. I love that. Okay, teaser, teaser, teaser. Okay, I'm going to give you the teaser, and here you go. Enjoy. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. How's that? There it is, everybody. You are the first to hear about it. Tea Time with Tarot Sachet premieres on Saturday, the 8th of October, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. British Summer Time. And I am so honored to have Miss Tarot D as my first guest. There you go. Woohoo! Thanks for indulging me with that. I appreciate the, oh, this has made my eyes smile. Oh, good, Kathy. Very good. Okay. So thanks everybody for allowing that to me to do that and to enjoy that. I love the creativity of this. It's just so much fun. Can almost smell the lavender and the rose. Well, of course, and I have lots of fun things planned. We'll be looking for guests, but anyhow, that's for something else. This right now is Tarot the Stash Way, and we're talking about the qualities of the suit of swords, or associated with air. Okay. Now, the attributes or the qualities. This is the suit of your logic. It's thinking. So when you think about the swords, this is associated with communication. It's also the suit of action. When swords come up, it's usually an action that needs to be taken. That may be a thought action, but it's mental things. It's also looking at truth. Um, it's words. I also like to say, I learned it as thought, word, and deed. So it's the things you think, it's the words you speak, and it's the things you do. So that's how I look at that. Uh, um, this, what do you associate with swords? So, and by the way, this is when overthinking happens. It happens in the suit of swords. It can also be sometimes being an overachiever or an underachiever when things are not working out. And along with that, remember, along with overthinking comes overcomplicating. This is, by the way, a new stash tag. Arrived on with Regina's Tarot and Wirecraft this morning. Deciderizer. When you get a sword, there may be something that you need to be a deciderizer about, like the Queen of Swords. We'll talk about that a little bit later. All right. Spiritual Rain said, when I think of swords, I think of warrior protection of Archangel Michael, telling us to soldier up and to be brave. I think of positive self-talk, convincing myself to push ahead despite anxiety. Absolutely. And Michael is the archangel associated with the East. Clarity and execution could be receiving a muse and inspiration. Yes, I might consider that receiving a muse a bit more of wands. Tune in tomorrow for more on that. Truth, facts, clarity, investigations. Yes. Ideas. Yes. Truth, on the edge. Something might need to be cut out. Yes. Yes. Yep. The deciderizer. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Sarah D said mindset, thoughts, logic, ideals, illusion, mental struggles. Yes. Given the sword imagery, I've always relieved to remember they are thoughts. Then I remember how powerful thoughts are to our lives. Absolutely. There you go. Jane the Seeker Tarot said, the Page of Swords is Archangel Michael, from what I know. Love that. Um, Other things associate other qualities. As I said, this is about words. It's about writing, speech. It's about listening. It could be about poetry as well. Um, as I mentioned, it's about action and movement. So think about it this way: is here's a sports reference. See if I get it correct. You have to think about, sometimes you have to be on the offensive and sometimes you need to be on the defensive. The intelligence comes when knowing which one you need to be applying. Um, all right, let's see. Definitely can see it as a words thing as well. But to me, muse is in the mind, and the wands a bit more physical, really getting to. I love that, Deanne. And I'm going to forget this, but this is actually really good because this is one of those times when all of these suits and the elements work well together. So that's beautiful. It's a blend, like all tarot, yes. And sometimes they just play Mahomes? What? Sword play is like a dance? Absolutely. Um, so swords, if they're about thought, they're things about your brain. And so keep that in mind. It's reasoning. And it's also this is if your brain is involved, it's problem solving. It's things like math, mathematics, science, intellect. This is where the lots and lots of science. Actually, this is one of those things. Going to get ahead of myself. I'm going to overcomplicate it or overthink it. The idea of science. This is where it's science is in the mind because somebody's got to think of it, but then they get inspired to actually do it, or they get inspired to follow that trail. There's this aha moment, and so fortunate are we that scientists have a beautiful blend of being able to think about things, getting inspired, and then physically making it happen. It's like incredible. Thoughts feed feelings, feeling feed actions, actions create the doing. Yes. Mental ambition, absolutely. Sword play is like a dance. Yes, it is. Very much so. Very much so. Um, this also, thinking about the swords, when you look at them physically, there are two sharp sides to them. So that implies that there's things that we could say are more positive or affirming and things that are more negative. And keep that in mind because they're double-edged qualities because sometimes, like for me, when I first get up in the morning, I have about an hour and a half or 2 hours of really clear thought. It's a really good time of the day for me to have that clarity. And and when I get tired, it sort of bleeds in and it loses that clarity. This is the left side of your brain. So, um, what other things do you associate? What other qualities of the suit can you think of? Or when you think about the brain and taking action, don't overthink it. Just type it into the chat. What do you think when you're thinking of, somebody's thinking clearly or somebody's not thinking clearly? Tell me what that looks like. I also see it as communication, speaking, and dialogue, which implies comprehension and understanding, or the lack of these things. Yes, Jonathan, that is exactly right. Kathy, that is exactly true. The truth hurts sometimes. And that's why a great person who I studied with, he said, the idea of speaking the truth without compassion is cruelty. It's just brutal. And a lot of times when you're working on your swords moments or in your swords, how can you clearly say something and then stop talking? Because a lot of times I overtalk and I don't give somebody a chance to catch up with me. Yes, for me, swords are very positive and negative equally, whereas the others are of course, balance, but to me, not as 50-50 as the swords are. Absolutely, because we're there's interesting thoughts lead to actions, and actions and thoughts combined can give us lots of emotions, positive and negative. So okay, speaking before thinking, that just came out. I love that. And sometimes that happens. Yes. Focus and refinement. Oh, you all are on today. I'm going to take a sip and toast all of you. Thank you. We just give it to you straight. Yep. There needs to be a point. The double edge will be necessary. The double edge will of necessity come at some point, one way or another. Yes. It's an important distinction. The compassion element is so important. Yes. And I think that compassion element is requires us to have the ability to combine all of the elements and put it through ourselves so that we can convey it authentically. Sarah D said, someone self-assured, powerful intellect, upfront and open, honest and quick-witted, clever mind, articulate, high standards. Yes, very much so. This is why we need to rewatch this. There's so much good stuff everywhere. Jane, you are so right. And by the way, I'm finishing up the wands tomorrow so that I've got the suits done, and then I'll be able to go from there. Mindfulness, yes, very, very true. Love that, Kathy. Deanne said, I always think about Elle from Sacred Seed saying swords get smaller and smaller until they reach a point of exact knowing, and wands expand because and become bigger at the end. Growth outwards. Yeah, Elle from Sacred Seed, if you're watching this, thank you. Thank you for keeping your videos up. Yep. Why say, yeah, why use 20 words if one can say it succinctly? And definitely things like a dictionary would be associated with the swords, I think, because of all of those words and the exact understanding of those. Having some self-awareness and accountability for our words and deeds. Yes, very much so. And that actually, Kathy, does come through in the progression of the suits, the ace through 10, as well as the court cards, definitely. When things are emotionally charged, some people can't speak without thinking. This can't speak without thinking. This causes harm to others. I agree that mindfulness is necessary to train the mind to calm before spewing out garbage. Yes. Yes. Um, I love this. You all are so good. Let me glance at my notes because, um, and again, remember those double-edged aspects of it because I think the Queen of Swords, for instance, gets a bad rap. No, she's very clear, she's concise, she tells you exactly what is needed. Now, everything has its balance. So, if I were looking at a spread and there were all swords in, there were mostly swords, and let's say it's a well-being spread, lots of swords in it. What do you think that means? Let's say there's swords and pentacles, but no wands and no cups. What might that say? Oh, Sherry H, Voices from the Swamp is here. Hello, glad you're here. Truth is always good, yes, but in the delivery, it matters. My colleagues are so overly verbose, they don't get my three-word sentence. Yeah. Remembered stories, especially ones that cause pain. By the way, hello, Joe. Thank you for being here. And thanks again for sending those questions and for the back and forth. I agree, Jamie, or Gerald. I agree. I see. I was thinking about Jamie, and instead of saying Gerald, I agree, Gerald. The Queen of Swords is the ambitious, smart woman who, in some circles, is called a bee or ruthless. She's not. She's not. So, too much in the head. Yes. Yes. This is somebody who's too much in the head. They've lost the disconnect to the other aspects and the other suits. Sarah D said, I agree. I see it as people in trouble or trying to get out of trouble, but the problems are the ones they have created in their heads. Yes. Spiritual Rain said, I would think it would be all about someone's thoughts and how they are affecting that physical life, job, home. Yes. And did I miss somebody else? Apologies. I'm just getting caught up. Yeah. And you know, and Betsy and Spiritual Rain, that idea of somebody is they're thinking they're too much in their head about the love in that reading. And so yes, the head is ruling their heart. And it's one of those things that they're not in the moment. They're caught up in this, in the books or the stories that they tell themselves. So Mimi's Tarot and Gems. Hello, Mimi's Tarot and Gems. Glad to have you here. Yep. You popped in when we were showing the video, so excellent. Sherry is up to 478 subscribers. Congratulations. I think Gerald just gave away Sachet's real identity. Stay tuned. Their head is ruling their heart. Yes. I love the Queen of Swords comes from some space of experience, just a little cold in how she nurtures. Yes, very much so. Oh, hi, Jane. Thank you. Connect with to emotion and decide what you want, then act. Yes, slowing down. So a lot of times we think, I think, and again, this is Tarot the Stash way. This is just how I do it. Up, April's here. Hello, April. I was just watching one of your videos a little earlier about things not to, or things to do or not to do. It was from about a year ago. So glad to have you here. So other qualities associated with the suit of swords. This is somebody who's very articulate. They're analytical. They're incisive. Um, they're discerning. They're clever. Keep that in mind. And sometimes that cleverness can work in your favor or against you. Somebody, the qualities of swords also is someone who is observant. They're using their mind. They're taking lots of things in. Um, they're very truthful. And I also think about swords, they're about defending. They're about control and having goals. Because for those of us, uh, if if we have clear goals and we can articulate them, thought, word, and deed, and then we get inspired, it's a beautiful thing. I also okay, so sarcastic. I don't know what you are talking about. Yes, sarcastic. And that is where the double edge comes into play. I've had this problem, hashtag sharing alert. Sometimes my sarcasm is a little too pointed and it's delivered without the humor behind it, or it's not received. and it can actually hurt. Yes, they're witty. Yes, wonderful familiar faces here, and now you're here too. So that is lovely. Discerning. Could be easily hurt, yes. Swords and Pentacles, a wise and truthful accountant. Oh, yeah. Justice and judgment qualities. Absolutely. Absolutely. Able to make impartial decisions. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hello, Patricia. My daughter calls me the Queen of Swords, and I hope you embrace that and show her all sorts of love that she can hardly understand. Rodin's the thinker, King of Swords, thinking of fine art. Yes. Defensive. They're also about clearing out the unwanted thoughts in order to bring in new perspectives. Yes. And that's a perfect example, Beth, if I can use this, of when we are so caught up in our thought process, it's hard to actually see something new. And when we talk about the ace through 10, we'll talk about where that might happen in the suit of swords, because sometimes you need a different perspective. We need to have someone come in and offer us something else. Easily hurt because they don't understand emotions. Yes, they try to think their way around it, and it isn't always what is needed. Absolutely. That is well said because they're all up in their head. They're not in their heart, or they have difficulty connecting the two. Sharp tongue, show of hands. Oh, yeah. Oh, here. Show of tiny hands. Swords are also about jealousy. It could be because of what somebody else has. Yes. Isn't the Ace of Swords also known as the Sword of Truth? Sorry if you already covered that. Dealing with a kid stepping in cat puke. Ew, gross. Yes, it's the ace. Is certainly the Sword of Truth, a new way of thinking. Absolutely, absolutely. I see that sharp tongue too, but on the other of the side of sword, I see wisdom in the form of advice. It comes, yeah, it can come off as harsh. Absolutely. You all are great. Sometimes when I read a swords heavy spread, I see the swords just clearing the weeds. Absolutely. And this is where, in my opinion, your experience and your comfort and your willingness to balance those things and to, this is a swords moment when you're looking at a spread. Sometimes it's necessary to step back and look to see what is going on overall, instead of sometimes when I read a spread, I'm going from card position 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. It's important to step back, sometimes literally stand up and look at the spread as the overall, because that can really can inspire the intellect to see things in a new way. When cornered, they will cut your throat and use you as a flotation device. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's very, very apparent in the swords that shows up. Yeah, big picture and how they fall is really important and can change the impact of a single card. Yeah, yeah, that said something great. I can get so in my head. Eight, nine of swords. I need to ground, put those cerebral thoughts into the earth. Yeah, Excalibur. Sometimes when I read, so yeah, yeah, clearing the weeds. Scholarly, yes. Enlightenment, it can be very, very enlightened. You are correct. For sure, the big picture and how they fall are really important and can change the impact of a single card. Yes. Do you all follow Sadhana from Integrative Healing with Sadhana? Woman is incredible, and I've had some personal readings with her. And it's really amazing the insight that someone's intelligence, because I think she's very intelligent, somebody's intelligence can have, especially when they allow it to join hands with their intuition. Talk about some power there. So I deal with someone exactly like this, inability to have tact. Can't think before speaking, but I know the person and I'm okay with it. Um, but to strangers, yeah, oh boy. I've actually had spiritual rain. I used to do management coaching, and some managers are so intellectual. It's A, B, C, D, E, and F. That's exactly what it was. They had no concern for the people actually doing the work. There were a few times that I was able to help somebody understand caring for the individuals doing the work actually increases productivity. And I was able to show it in a way that the person went, oh, I get it. So, um, all right. I have a friend who told me I'm not the friend she comes to for comfort. I'm the friend she comes to for the truth. Yes. Oh, from Dragon Age, Sword of Truthiness. Strategy. Yes, Joe. The how, the planning. Yes, this is very much a card of planning. It's also the card of learning and teaching. And this is where if it's learning or if it's the teaching, sometimes if a person is more emotionally driven, the teaching by somebody who is very swords like can be very challenging. Um, Thoughtlessness. Somebody doesn't even think about other people because it's not in their brain. It's also somebody who's opinionated, and there are a lot of uns about this. They're unaffectionate, they're unfeeling, they're unresponsive. Those types of things. This is the opposite. If you look at the wheel, let's say we have over here, we have the no, we have the spring equinox, which is thought, word and deed, swords, and then we go across and we just passed the autumnal equinox, which is associated with cups. When you're too much into one or the other, it causes an imbalance, which is interesting because that's equal night and equal day. So, oh, you are all are wonderful. Okay, getting caught up in chat. Um, when there's a lot in a spread, I think of it as an elemental force. The winds that blow us to, and the winds that blow us away from. Nice. Science and logic minds? Absolutely. I had a department manager who was intelligent and he couldn't do daily things. He left his wife at the mall. Oh, Jane, that's awful. When I was doing in-person readings, I was always saying courts in the sword suit have a lot to do with intellect and intuition coming together. Reminded me of what you said about sadhana. That's true. That's true. Just my experience. And Gerald, what you said about managers, I feel a lot of cerebral swords people have low empathy. Um, yes, and the really skilled managers are the ones that work on that, and they can work on it in a way that makes sense for them. They know they need to get better with it, and they know they can ask for help. And when they're in a balanced mindset, they can actually take that information in, because I think this is where intent and impact really come into play. Really come into play. Um, How many of we Queen of Swords are the go-to friend for fashion advice? I have no problem telling a friend, oh, honey, that garment is not your friend. Yeah, yeah. Beth said, I associate the King of Swords with the Emperor. like they would be city planners for or conquistors. Yes, yeah. Kathy said, my lovely dad, who has autism, sometimes have difficulty interpreting emotions. He is very logical and see things as very black and white. Yes, and this is one of those things that when people understand it and they know, it gives them the ability to try to balance and to pay attention to it. Joe said, my astrology teacher is so swordsy. I used to ask, how would that feel? He would be perplexed by my question. I am not a great manager because I get too involved. You need distance swords. It's a balance. Absolutely. Swords, air, third eye chakra energy. Okay. I would rather be compassionate than have empathy. Miss Charlotte, that's an interesting thing. Interesting. So we are almost at the top of the hour, and I am just looking through my notes. If you have any questions, please type them all in caps so that I can look at them. And let's get caught up in chat. Empathy. I have seen just as many people that are not intellectual have zero capacity for to emphasize or feel compassion for others. I think it's about their own emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. I wonder if that would be a good laugh and learn series. A sword or knife in the physical world doesn't work properly unless it is balanced. Yes. I associate meditation with swords. Yes, could be. Emotional maturity too. Anybody out there good with emotional intelligence? Because April would wants me to do that. I would be good with that too. So okay, so let's put this all together. Yeah, great laugh and learn. Let's take a sip. Hold on. Thinking about the swords and the elements associated with swords. Oops, I just lost chat. Thinking about the elements associated with swords, um, what might you say you can, when you're thinking about air, you're thinking about wind, you're thinking about thought and intellect. What what are you thinking about when you think about the suit of swords in tarot? I'd love to hear from you. Okay, great laugh and learn. The four, especially, yep. Okay, I'd be on the panel. Great. WH likes that. I used to go into grade schools and teach emotional intelligence. The kids said the sweetest, most sincere things. Aw. Sheila is here. Spirit messenger Sheila. Hello, Sheila. Joe said, my 14-year-old son has more emotional intelligence than his father. He gets so saddened by it. I have to remind him that it is not his fault. And one of the things that you can do is you can talk about how that is one of the things that you love about your 14-year-old son, the fact that he is so emotional. It's his superpower because this is where Gerald's getting on his high horse. But I think when we see someone's authenticity and they share their authentic self and we recognize and we acknowledge the impact that that has on others, that's where magic really happens. Wait, which swords card would represent doldrums, lack of air moving? Well, that's a good question. For those of you in chat, I'll take a sip. Conversation, problem solving, positive outcomes from self-evolving realization. I love that. Self-evolving realizations. This may not be relevant, but what just came to mind was in one ear and out the other, maybe too involved in one thing and nothing else can be processed in the mind. That's very interesting. I like that because yeah, that's true because there are some people who are so focused on one thing, they can't see everything else. Um, I think swords is like all suits. You must always try to balance the four to strive for mental, physical, and emotional health. Yep. It could be okay. So we have people are thinking the Four of Swords is the doldrums. Oh, good. It's his superpower. Joe, it's your superpower, kid. Use it, develop it, share it. It's awesome. Eight of Swords. Yes. I always tell budding psychics that being an empath is a superpower. Not doldrums, but the four for rest. Yes. Betsy, Tony says the 8 or 9 of Swords. Yeah, that's a tough one. The 9. Hi, Kiba. Good to see you. What color would you associate? I was gonna say blue, but is that cups? Okay, that's a great question. What color would you associate with the suit of air or swords? What do you think? Let's hear it for that. Um, Four of Swords is rest, no movement, swords in the wall, and the one on the effigy below. Yes. I would say doldrums would be a cup situation, like the Four of Cups. Yes. Or getting out of the doldrums, the Eight of Cups. Just see, I have a family member with ADHD, and I think of him as a swords person. It's not always a good thing because he's always in his head. Yep. I can totally see 8 and 9. Thank you, said Betsy. 9 would be like a tornado. Yeah. Okay. So colors. Okay. Still think white and blue for the sky. Blue. Yes. Steely blue. Yellow. 50 Shades of Gray. Blue, white, goldens. Yes. I associate gray with swords. Like thoughts are nuanced, not just black and white, really. Any one strong color. Emma Z is here. Cold tone gray or purple tone gray? Yes. Grays or yellows. Spiritual Rain said yellow for me. Color of air. Angel Williams, hello. Thank you for being here. Pewter. And I think one of the great things is one of the great things that one of the things that I do, and again, it's Tarot the Stash way. This is the way I do it. Do it your own way. Is I think about the suits as associated with the direction and the time of the year. So for me, they're pastels because all of the colors work. Um, and if you notice in many of the traditional swords in the RWS, there's a lot of air, there's a lot of blue in the background, so there's a lot of space. So absolutely, all of these colors that you're saying are spot on. Spot on. I such yeah, told gray, got that. Gray or yellow. Uh, let's hear your thoughts, Jared. As I said, I think for me, they're pastels because they have a clarity about them, and they're not too terribly intense. They could be though. Warm colors to mirror wands, yes. When I say blue, I mean turquoise or bright. That is something I'm going to write this down because I think. let me talk about, would you like me to talk about colors and as it associated with tarot? If you're watching back, please type in colors yes in the comments so I can do that. And colors are ones. Okay. I'm going for an ADHD assessment next month. It really looks like I have it. And whilst I can hyper focus, executive dysfunction is consuming just to get out. Yep. 2 degrees. That feels very expansive, Gerald. It allows for the use of all of the colors. Yeah, and I think, and this is one of those things for me, April. All of the color wheel works. It's just the intensity about them. So we have pastels for the dawn. And then we get into summer, and what does that look like? And then we get into fall. What does that look like? Then we get into winter. Does that look like? I actually I teach a color confidence class for quilters, and I'm going to be teaching it again next year. And I do talk about the feelings associated with different tones and shades. Okay, lots of yes for color. Okay, got it. I will write it down. We'll do that. I like swords as purples. I do find the yellow association interesting, though, too. Representation of the superconscious and whatnot. Yeah. So, wow. This is great. So, thinking about any last minute things that you have, any questions that you have about the suit of swords. So, what do you think? What questions do you have? And I would completely love to hear what your takeaways are from this. Um, and so when I think about swords, I'll chat while you all are typing that in. Learning is an element of the nature of the mind. It's natural for the mind to want to learn things. So we have intellect, we have knowledge, we also have memory and awareness, because that awareness comes um, from from paying attention and noticing what's going on. And as I mentioned last week, we have those 4 pillars of the Megas. This I associate swords with the idea of to know. The 4 pillars are to know, to will, to dare, to keep silent. So I think of swords as to know. And also other things. Here's something to blow your mind. Think about this. Music travels through the air. Is music associated with swords or a different suit? All right, getting caught up in chat. Let's see. Colors are very helpful for me during readings. Yes, and I know people who are gifted to be able to see colors, and that's really amazing. I feel like whatever color is air, there's a shimmer to it, like when a sword cuts through the air, it should vibrate. Ooh, good one. Good one, Deb. Chakra associations, yes. Oh, Jane is talking about the Wiser Tarot. Swords are purple in that one. Patricia said a sword is yellow, orange, red before being quenched. Okay, you got that good. On older tarot decks, do you see blood being an aspect worthy of mention? Yes, I do, actually, because it could actually be a release. It could be a commitment. It could be pain, and that is something that in a lot of guidebooks they talk about the blood, and I think in the Robin Wood Tarot, the book, she does talk about the basic symbols. I think of throat, blue, third eye, purple crown, yellows, golds, creams to me. Yeah. All right. I have really okay, and see, and then and yeah, I see it as to know. So sound is air, music is cups. When swords show up, we need to learn something and not shut our minds off to the lessons. Yes. Yeah. Angel Williams, the battle war. Okay. Yeah, April, we've got lots to talk about because I've done some variations of that, and it's like it's one of those things that works for me. I like music of swords. Tony mentioned that earlier. Yes. Yes, never thought about the chakra associations. Yeah, chakra associations. I took the tarot through the chakras with sadhana. Great, great class, and it made me think about things differently. I see music connections to all of the elements. I can see that. I could see music as air and water pairing. Absolutely. Peter J. Watts says, always a mindful challenge listening to you, Gerald. I'm the step below novice regarding tarot. Thanks for sharing your expertise, everyone. Yes, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for being here, Peter. I appreciate it. Okay, so Gerald, would wind instruments be swords, but string wood instruments be pentacles? Ooh. I wish Jeffrey were here. You know, Jeffrey, my fiance, so I could ask him because he was a music major. Um, I could definitely see, actually, yeah, I could see wind instruments like a flute would be swords because in some martial arts, they use that as a weapon. But I think string, the vibration, I don't know. That's a good question. I have to think about that. I have that. I see sound as color sometimes. Excellent. Wow. So many people. Okay. The Morgan Greer has is bloody. If the sound evokes a feeling, it moves to involve a different suit. Yeah. All right. Catching up. I think music should count as air swords. That's why I made the purple-ish and in Dream Vision Tarot, I was trying to reflect the energy, which is a mixture of crown, third eye, throat energies. Yes. And by the way, y'all remember Emma, the creator of the dream, here, shameless plug, hashtag know your limits, you know, created this, which the second edition has been funded. So love that. Don't limit my rainbow in every suit. Yeah. The delivery of it is via air, I should say. Yep. All right. Just getting caught up. Is energy air or earth or all elements? Depends upon the type of energy because all of these elements have a level of energy about them. So as we talk about the associations, that analytical, that's the energy associated with it, I think. Um, Also, some thoughts we have come from intuition, which is purple to me. Very nice. Okay, chat just jumped, and I have the tarot as color deck. Air is yellow and gray. And drum for pentacle. I could see drums for pentacles because of the heartbeat and the connection there. See, that's another laugh and learn. I'm going to write that down too. Is music and the tarot. I'm writing that down. Writing it down. Don't know when that'll happen, but this is great. All right. Music All right, thank you. One of my favorite cards is a woman playing a cello. It's Worth. Jane has a cat on the chest. Everyone be sure to leave a comment below. Thank you. So, all right. So, yep, yep, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So, I'm getting all sorts of ideas. You know the question, if a tree falls in the forest and no ear is to hear it fall, did it make a sound? The answer is no, but it made a vibration. Ooh, snap, Miss Charlotte. Love me some of that. Love me some of that. So, all right. Everyone, thank you so very much. And as always, um, like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. And for those of you who are watching back, thank you. I'm going to be needing to watch back and add to my notes. Don't forget, tomorrow, Tarot the Stash Way is we're doing wands. And I'm doing it a half an hour earlier than I normally would because I have something that I have to do on Wednesday. So there's that. And y'all heard it here first. Tea Time with Tarot Sachet premieres on Saturday with Ms. Tarot D as the first guest. So how do you know it vibrated if you weren't there to feel? Oh my gosh. So all right. Thank you, everyone. Please enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate you being here, spending time with me. You are one of the reasons that I enjoy sharing Tarot the Stash Way. The chat is really, really phenomenal. And when we finish with the suits, finish tomorrow, we finish the wands. I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start talking about the numbers. And that probably won't happen until November. So, yeah, the chat is a poppin'. The swords is the Y suit. Love that. So, tea time with Sachet. You got it. Oh, yeah. That's right, April. And April, Ms. Tarot and Witchery is going to be on my channel. I'm going to be on her channel in November. So, all right. Thank you, everyone. Yes. And Deb H, Purple Elephant, I will be on her channel doing readings. And Sherry, did I make you laugh? It's probably not as funny with just me, but I'm wanting somebody to actually make her spew coffee or something like that. So, but oh, like a loon. How do loons laugh? Anyhow, yes. Don't forget Thursday. I will be on Purple Elephant Deb H's channel. So, all right. I'll be in the car listening tomorrow on my way home from monthly shopping. Very good. Very good. Everybody, you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And I appreciate you being here. And don't forget this. Here it is. Here's that reminder. So everybody, take care of yourself. Bye.